Hey guys, it's Crusher, and today I've had a lot of people ask me about what enchant should I use, like what are the top enchants, what enchant is good for this, what's good for this, but instead of that, I felt I could just go over every single enchant and tell you guys what it can be used for, because I don't think there specifically is one enchant that you should always pick, but I believe that different weapons synergize better with different enchants, different attunements synergize good with different enchants, stuff like that. So getting straight into it, Astral, obviously you want to put on your Evan Spear, you know, it really just any PvE item that you can enchant, you want to put that on. It's no other reason, because it does go past the multiplier cap for PvE. Next, Blazing. Blazing, it's a little bit of a, it's been changed recently. Well, it hasn't been changed, but because of the Flame Wisp change, it acts as like a second Vampirism while being much stronger than Vampirism if you are using Flame Wisp. So I would suggest using Blazing on any flame build if you don't have enchant already in mind. I do think it is very powerful on a lot of flame builds, especially Azure Flames, because those flames will heal you a lot more. So like low requirement Katana, I've seen a lot of people run that with Blazing, the Royal Guard outfit, healing themselves, doing good tick damage. They have a lot of extra points for like Heretic, stuff like that. Get that Mondra Pen, just super solid. And then Chilling, people used to use this a lot for PvE. It does 4% more on hit, so this could actually synergize well with maybe Crystal. Yeah, then apply Bottom Freeze, negating all movement. And if they have Crystallization, apply Crystal. So I would suggest that if you're running a Frost build and you just want to stack these effects like Crystal, or you want to stack Bottom Freeze, or you want to stack Chilling for like if you have a lot of like things that make it so they can't dodge or anything like that, then you do want to go Chilling. But other than Frost builds, I don't really see Chilling being used, except I have seen a few Fist Chilling builds, but other than that, it's not really seeing a lot of use in today's meta. Deferred used to be amazing, best enchant. Right now it did get slightly nerfed, but it is still pretty good, because it does 1.07 times more damage just for nothing. This goes really well with Hard Greed, and this completely cancels out Ghost, and I'm pretty sure like you can showstopper them out of your Ghost if you have Deferred, something like that. It has a weird tech where if you hit them and they try to like use Ghost, it doesn't work, but other than that, it's pretty solid. Makes it, I don't know, I don't know if this is true, but it makes it feel like, yeah, every hit after the initial hit bypasses iframes. It does to me feel like it makes it harder to parry, but that's probably because of like those talents that make it harder to parry. And then yeah, you have Hard Read, so if they try to feint while they're taking damage, obviously it will stun them like that. So just super good, solid enchant if you just want to do extra damage, but do know that they will take the damage over time, so this could cause you to lose in some situations. And then here we are with Deto. It's been a really solid enchant for a long time. I still think it's a pretty solid enchant. It's not as broken as it used to be, but it does do 16 to 20 true damage. So here, let me read it. After hitting a target, Rapier Guns 5, Light 7, Medium 4, Heavy 3 times they explode, dealing an additional 16 to 20 damage to them and others around beside the user. The damage from explosions is not affected by damage modifiers and bypasses armor, doesn't knock back. All critical attacks only apply 1 stack of Deto, and you cannot gain stacks from hitting knocked players. Explosions can execute. So people use this in ganks to execute people, obviously. It does true damage. It's just a pretty solid pick, but there are things that do the job better, and for Chime, I wouldn't really suggest going Detonation in this current meta. Here we have Elastic. On hit, a pink string connecting the weapon and your target will appear, pulling the player towards you. Doesn't work with bullets. So this is a very solid pick with like Legion, Stoneheart, Fist builds in general, but it's really good with Legion. Yeah, so it's good with Stoneheart, Petras sometimes, things that have like unique crits that like knock them away. This can actually really help because you can pull them in to keep comboing. And then for Stoneheart, it lets you sort of confirm that crit because it sucks them in towards you and they can't really get out. And then for Fist, obviously, a lot of people try to S-hold, but if you're using Fist, they can't just walk out of that combo because you have Elastic. So this is pretty solid on those few weapons. But other than that, I really wouldn't suggest it unless you go a build that relies on the Meteor Slam talent for Flame, like one that just abuses that because it will suck them back in and you keep comboing. Gluttony, only good for water fights, pretty bad. That's all I really have to say for that. Grim, after hitting, so this is a good PvE enchant. It did get buffed in PvP and well just in general, but for PvP, but I don't really see it used that often. So Rapier/Guns 5 hits, Light 7 hits, Medium 5 hits, Heavy 4 hits. So it does seem like this is the best on Rapier or Guns because it is the easiest to proc with the fastest and easiest to hit swing speed. So Grim will proc, which is signaled by red bubbles, so you'll see it in their chest. And then the target is afflicted with Grim for 6 seconds, which increases all damage taken by 1.2 times in all posture. So once this effect is on the enemy, this is probably the best enchant, but the issue is getting it on the enemy and then the duration of the enchant. So actually on Guns, this is a pretty solid choice, to be honest. I don't see many people playing Rapier, but I assume this would be good on Rapier as well. I feel like this would be pretty good on Just Karita with a lot of M1 confirms. Anything with like a good M1 confirm would probably do really well with Grim because you can get a lot more damage off. But other than that, usually just used for PvE. Then we have Harrowing. This was the Hollow Tide event enchant. I have seen one person use this. It's kind of trash. It just hides the like your health bar, trips people up a little bit. It'll like freak out a noob, but other than that, no use. Don't use it. It does look pretty cool though. Heroism, I'm pretty sure it's still broken. Just don't use it. Just in general, don't use it. And the buff is really hard to maintain, so just don't. Nemesis, okay, Nemesis did get buffed. So on hit, a red eye marker is placed on the enemy for 15 seconds. Using your critical with the marker is present. Using your critical while the marker is present teleports you to the enemy, and the usual critical becomes a katana's. Nemesis critical can still trigger the critical talents like Manipulator, all that. So I have heard from many people that Nemesis crit does the same as your crit. So if you have a very high damaging weapon, like what people use with Kier's Cleave, Hubris, something like that, or you're using a radiant kick build with Flame, those synergize really well. Like you will Ash Slam, Radiant Kick, Nemesis crit, right? You do a bunch of damage in a burst. I see a lot of people running it with Hubris. I see people running it with Kier's Cleave because the normal crit is actually pretty bad, and Nemesis just makes it that much better. And other than that, I don't really see it used much other than like those medium, flame, Radiant Kick, like kind of things. I have seen people use Nemesis Rifle. I think that's a troll. You can say what you want about it. I think that's a big troll. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty solid. It got buffed. You can proc the eyes a lot, but you do want to only use this on something with a bad crit overall. Like I've seen people use Alloy Katana Nemesis, and it's actually pretty solid. But other than that, if your weapon has a good crit, I would suggest running a different enchant. So let's see, Obfuscation. This is good on fast weapons like daggers, stuff like that, and things that don't have good. Okay. If you do not have good posture damage in the first place, you can run this, and then things that don't have easy speed demon procs, you can use this. Other than the chip damage, there's really no use for the speed boost. But yes, chip damage, I've seen it work really well on dual guns, rifles, because you can't just hold F on the things, you have to parry it, and then people can like prediction shot, whatever. But other than that, like daggers, rapiers, I've seen it used on Hubris, things that like are hard to parry generally, you want to run Obfuscation on. Things that like don't do that much posture and people usually just block, use Obfuscation, you get a bunch of chip off, good damage, so like daggers, rapiers, Hubris, guns, rifles. Those are things you want to put obfuscation on. Obviously, you can put it on a sword, but there's better options, like this next one, Providence Thorns. So, Providence Thorns, super solid in PvE, very good in PvP. Pairing at 2 attacks within 3 seconds deals damage to the attacker after a delay. Deal 4% damage. This, I don't think you guys understand, is broken. 4% damage and ignores all resistances. It is true damage. 4% true damage for defending yourself. You don't have to hit 15 times, whatever. No, you have to parry twice. Parry twice. And it's... like, that's it. You just parry twice, and you do 4% damage if they don't parry or block it. Which happens a lot, even in higher level. You use this on a weapon that doesn't do much damage, a build that has like a lot of mantra damage, but it has a weapon that's pretty bad. Slap Providence Thorns on it, like Flame Champion Sword Providence Thorns, right? So you can parry them twice, they'll get hit by that thing, whatever. It does true damage, very good against these tanky builds you run into, these high resistance builds you run into. Very, very solid. I would recommend this on anything that doesn't do a lot of damage, or if you have just a generally passive or defensive playstyle, run Providence Thorns. It is super good. I would put this at like top 3 right now. Sear, good on high pen builds. Just in general, it's good. Use this on pretty much anything. Fist. It really doesn't matter. It's just really solid right now on things with high pen. So if you have a weapon that has high pen, you could run Sear, and it's just really good. And it does bypass. Yeah, it counts for mantra damage, and it bypasses the 50% pen cap. I have seen some mage builds run it with varying results. But yeah, I wouldn't give like a specific use case, just something that is a pen weapon or a build that has a lot of pen already. And then Solar, good on fists, good on guns, anything with an easy to hit crit or flourish, and things that combo easily, so like Dagger, fist, rifle, things like that, you run Solar. I also used to run Sacred Hammer Solar, also very good. Stone, okay, Stone, a lot of people think you use Stone on something that doesn't do that much posture damage, but it's actually the opposite. You want to do it on things that do have a lot of posture damage, even things that insta-guard break, because you will do extra damage with that guard break. So like a lot of people run Stone Fist, you can see people like Sheep using that. You can run like Stone, just like anything. Stoneheart one taps most posture if you have Shield Breaker. It's kind of ridiculous, like the normal M1. You just slap it on pretty much anything, and it makes you just really good. Like I've Stone Shattered, and then the crit, it will block break them, and it will do a ton of damage, more than it used to. Very solid enchant, just a lot more posture damage. People used to think it was really bad. It's actually really good. Things with high posture damage or like a medium range, you don't want to put it on things that do like little to no posture damage, because there's just no point in buffing it from there. I do think that obfuscation would be better if you do have little to no posture damage, but if you have like a high to medium amount of posture, then you do want to run this. And it makes some crits at guard break that don't usually guard break. Now we have Storm. Storm is pretty good. That's about it. You use it on surge builds. You use it on things that have link talents, and yeah, it does extra damage sometimes. Other than that, I mean, I see people run Storm Dagger. I haven't really seen that anymore though. So just if you have a surge build, you can run this. You can do extra surge procs. Stormbreaker, Fist, just Kurita, pretty much. That's it. Because it will do a lot of damage, and it is pretty much invisible on Fist and Stormbreaker, or sorry, on Fist and just Krita. Other than that, I don't really see it used. Tears of Edenkite, super good with enchants, or sorry, super good with weapons that block break, super good with weapons that like knock them over, super good with things that just like in general, like Legion Cutter crit, the new Relic Axe crit, I have a video on that. Hubris, just things like that. Pale Morning, it's just super good. Shattered, I see a lot of people run Shattered with it, because it stuns them and then they can't parry it. Just anything where you can confirm a crit and it like stuns them, or you can get it on pistols, but that's not as good. Umbral Knight, good on knockdown crits. Obviously, Pale Morning, Hubris, anything like that. And the new Relic Axe also works with Umbral Knight. Fan Prism, meh. Don't really use this. Never will. Wild, only good on guns. That's it. And then we can go to the curses. Curse of Bloodthirsty, never use that. Curse of No Life King, use this on any kind of ganking build, and then you can use it on a high sanity build and depths gank. And then also you can use it in or use it with a flame build or an Iron Sing build with 100 Iron Sing is the best way to use it. Curse of the Unbidden, terrible, pretty much. Curse of Yunshul, actually I've seen it used pretty well, but it is a luck based enchant, so I'd pretty much stay away with that if you want some consistent gameplay. But for people that are like kind of bad, it does damage based off of your health and is pretty good on like bad weapons. And then specs or specs. That was, I mean, pretty much my review of all the enchants. If you guys liked the video, like and subscribe. If you want my builds, join my Discord, subscribe. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys next time. Bye.